Hey, what's up, young world, and welcome back to another episode of Access Channel Comics with your host, D Banks, Corey Banks, and coming at you for episode number 17 this week. Got a lot to talk about in the entertainment business in this young world today, and as many of you know, this week big news broke out about the DC Cinematic Universe, and that is the Justice League movie. We got to see a couple of things, or many things were released about it. One was the new Justice League logo. It is a very classic looking logo, huge letters, very simple. Me, myself, I give it on a scale of 1 to 10, a 10. I absolutely love it. Not only because I'm a DC comic book fan. I know many of you know that I am. It's not that. One thing else I am is a realist. If I don't like something, I'll let you know about that. But I really like the look that they're going for because they're keeping it simple. I spoke a couple of weeks back about how I'm very happy they're just calling it Justice League. Or if they would call it the Justice League, that would be fine too. But I like the fact they're just calling it Justice League. They're keeping it simple. As many of you may have heard, Zack Synder and Warner Brothers invited some of the media out to watch some of the scenes that they were shooting, to watch what they're doing. And that is very huge because normally that doesn't happen until about maybe between 10 to 11 to 13 weeks before a movie is about to come out. They're doing it over a year in advance. I think this is, as many of you know, maybe over some of the backlash to Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Let's make one thing clear. Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice was not a box office flop. It is a huge blockbuster hit. But it didn't do the numbers that they were really hoping for. But what I am honored to be as a fan, and I give much respect to Warner Brothers and DC Comics and Zack Synder and the rest of the crew of not just overall saying let's not do this anymore or whatever like this. They admitted to what's going on. They listened to the fans. They listened to the media and they said, let's do some corrections here. That's what you're supposed to do. You see, many of you may not know, that's how Marvel became successful. Don't get me wrong, Marvel's in a different boat. They're a different company. But don't think just because Marvel has great 13 movies that all of them have done extremely well. Some of those weren't received well. I'm not saying they took the backlash that Batman v Superman has taken. Take Iron Man 2, for example. They got backlash some. Not as controversial as Batman v Superman, don't get me wrong. Batman v Superman, the reason why they took a bigger lashing, yes, it was a bloated story. Let's just be honest. Also, you're talking about the two biggest superheroes of all time. And it was long anticipated, waited for. But this is what you do. It's like sports. Your team isn't doing well, you make some changes. It doesn't mean you just fire everyone. Unless this has been going on for too many seasons, you make some changes. You make some adjustments. Same thing. It's like paying your bills. You just got to start weighing out, make some adjustments in your bills to make things go better for yourself. But that's what I'm proud of Warner Brothers that have done. And inviting media to the set. And there's some great reports in this. There was a report that actually talks about the scene between Bruce Wayne and Barry Allen. It is a very similar scene in Captain America Civil War between Peter Parker and Tony Stark. But this is where people don't need to get twisted. DC Comics is not copying Marvel. There has been some stuff going on about that in the news, and that couldn't be further from the truth. DC Comics has had dark stories in the past. Sometimes it calls for that, but they've had some lighthearted stories too in their comics. DC Comics is a label about inspiration and hope. Superman is their ideal. And before anybody says they're copying the scene for Captain America Civil War, you're absolutely wrong. This is a unique scene. Also, Bruce Wayne and Barry Allen has always had this type of relationship. In the comic books, in the animation, even in Bruce Timm's Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, Bruce Wayne and Wally West had that type of relationship. It's a scene where Barry Allen returns home and he gets in his apartment. He knows Batman is there, sitting in his chair. And instead of Sin freaking out and saying, what are you doing about a place? Who are you? He's saying, what are you doing sitting in my favorite chair? So what I like this is, it's been a lot of talks about Elijah Miller, about his Flash. A lot of people are concerned about that, but they say his Flash is looking extremely well. His Flash is different from Grant Gustin. Grant Gustin, of course, is beloved. Great, charming Flash. Got a little comedy. Arises is different. Arises is a little bit more funnier. He's a little bit more on the comedic side. It seems like they're taking some traits from Wally West and mixing them with Barry Allen. And I actually like that. He's that comedic relief. And so, Bruce Wayne is like, I know you're fast. He's like, no, you got me mixed up with some other Jewish kid. So Batman throws the Batarang at him, and he catches it. And he was like, so Bruce is telling him about his team he's assembling. And right off the gate, Barry says, I'm in. And Bruce was like, okay, that's cool, but you don't want time to think about it, or you ever hear me out and say, hey, I need friends. What I love about this Flash is this. It's kind of reminded me what Spider-Man is in Captain America Civil War and what Ant-Man is. That comedic relief. Something that is needed in these movies. If you take a look and give you some good examples. Justice League War, the animated Blu-ray DVD that came out last year or a couple of years ago. That has good lighthearted tone of the Justice League. Batman is dark in there, but even he has some comedic moments. That is needed in these movies. Batman v Superman was way too dark, but the reason why that was way too dark is because they were doing a story based off the Dark Knight Returns. That is a heavily dark comic book. You have to remember that. And of course, there's the rooftop scene. They're talking about that with Batman, Wonder Woman, the Flash is on the rooftop. Cyborg steps in, Wonder Woman smiles. A lot of head nods to that because they think that Wonder Woman may have recruited him. And so he finally decides to join the party, and she's honored by that. And J.K. Simmons is playing Commissioner Gordon. From my understanding, they said it is like a cosplay. He looks exactly identical to the way the late, great Bob Hastings, Commissioner Gordon, on Batman the Animated Series. Bob Hastings, he voiced Commissioner Gordon on Batman the Animated Series. And it was just great. And J.K. Simmons, I mean, think about it, people. You have an Academy Award winner playing Batman Bruce Wayne. Now, in the past, Christian Bale played Batman, of course, Bruce Wayne. He was finally the Academy Award winner when The Dark Knight Rises came out. George Clooney is Academy Award winner, but the difference is this guy, Ben Affleck, is Academy Award winner already before he even started playing Batman. You got another Academy Award winner playing Commissioner Gordon, J.K. Simmons. This is very, very huge. And this is going to be great. I like the direction they're going. What I'm hearing is this DC Comics is exactly what Jeff Johns is talking about. This DC Comics is about hope and inspiration. When I grew up off DC Comics, I remember reading those comic books. I remember sometimes when I didn't feel like reading them, I looked at the pictures. They illustrated so well. Looking at novels, checking out things. DC Comics was always about that hope and inspiration. The Justice League is an all-star team. Just by the title alone, they want to bring criminals to justice. Even though Batman is dark, he still fits in that criteria very well. Now, as far as when Superman's going to come to play in the movie, that still remains to be seen. They say he may come into the third act. And this is very exciting because I look forward to his return. I think we are going to get that Superman we all know. Something else is going to be portrayed on Supergirl also. That Superman, the ideal of hope. That's going to be very important, very special. Steppenwolf is going to be the main villain in this. And actually, I love that selection. A lot of people is going to wonder who's going to be the main villain in the Justice League movie. They always already been assuming it's Darkseid. But get this. I think starting off with a little bit of a smaller villain is a good thing. Something that no one really expected. It'll also put him on a pedestal to be well known. With all due respect, think about it. When Loki was actually introduced in Thor's movie. So Tom Hiddleston did a very great job in that role. And he got some notoriety. But Loki really got pumped up in the Avengers movie. Everybody knows who Loki is now because of the way Tom Hiddleston portrayed him. That could happen with Steppenwolf. So Steppenwolf is not as well known as the Joker. He's not as well known as maybe someone like Darkseid himself. But he's Darkseid's uncle and Darkseid's general. So it's going to be cool. This story had 3 mother boxes. And as you've seen in Batman v Superman, Cyborg, one of the mother boxes, his body came from out of that. There is a mother box for Atlanteans, mother box for the Amazons, and for Earth. So Darkseid wants all this pushed out to reclaim those mother boxes. He invaded the Earth before. This is going to be very exciting. Now, if you take a look on DC's side, they're doing a Justice League movie. This is a standalone movie. I quote a standalone. They did not say there was not going to be a Justice League 2. They're going to take it just one step at a time and see how this movie goes. This Justice League movie, when this is done, when they do another Justice League movie, and I truly believe they will, it'll be about something else. So I like how they're doing that kind of differently. And I'm not saying they want to acknowledge anything that happened in the first Justice League movie, but I like the fact they just call it Justice League and doing something different as go along. You know, over in Marvel, they're doing the Infinity Wars. They're all connected, which is cool. So this is just great. You know, just having the story about the mother boxes, and like in Marvel, having the story about the Infinity Stone, the Infinity Gems, Infinity Stones, whatever you want to call them. This is just great. This is something that I never thought I would see. But I will admit, ever since 2012, seeing the Avengers, which I highly enjoyed, and I still love looking at it again, I have always wanted. I think my most sought after movie, even before then, but most certainly was seeing the Avengers, have been Justice League. I've always wanted to see a Justice League movie, and I'm glad it's like better late than never. I'm glad this has been taking its time. You know, in the late 2000s, when the Dark Knight trilogy was going on around the time of the Dark Knight, there was supposed to be a Justice League Mortal movie, but that didn't happen. In a way, I'm glad now, because we're going to get the first ever Justice League movie on November 17th, 2017. DC Comics is really doing well. They're like the Rockefeller of the comic book universes. I mean, really think about it. They went through the backlash for Batman v Superman. Now the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Blu-ray is about to drop on July 19th. And a lot of people looking forward to seeing it. The extra footage. This is the ultimate cut. Batman the Killing Joke is coming out another month. Suicide Squad is coming out a little over another month. Batman will be featured in it. Don't know how much, but he will be featured in it. Then later on, you got the Batman Arkham game coming out in October. Leading into next year, you have Wonder Woman in the summer of 2017. In July 2nd, 2017. You got the Injustice 2 game coming out. Don't know the date on that yet. Then, of course, the Justice League, November 17, 2017. These movies can keep going on a higher scale. It looks like Suicide Squad's trailer looks fantastic, but that doesn't mean the movie is going to be fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I want it to be fantastic. Suicide Squad is something I'm looking very forward to, but it looks very commendable and very fantastic, so I look very forward to that. What do all of you think about the big news that's been going on this week in DC Comics? This has been huge. I mean, this has been all about DC. And that's not to take away from anyone else. But this has been a huge week for DC Comics. They are taking it one step at a time of reestablishing things, and I really like that. And on and up. So Rebirth is also going very well. DC Rebirth. One of the issues in that, Aquaman dropped this week, but from my understanding, and I really got to check it out, I'm late on it, I apologize, Green Arrow Rebirth. Green Arrow's issues are doing very well. Speaking of Green Arrow, those shows are set to return next season in the fall. Here's DC layout for television also. The Flash show will be doing Flashpoint in their own version. Understand, when it comes to certain things like Captain America Civil War, has similarities to the Civil War comic book, but in a way it was different also in a lot of different ways. Understand, Flashpoint will be like that. So some characters they can't use, or at least just yet, so you probably won't see Batman show up in this Thomas Wayne's Batman, but they're going to do their own version. I'm happy to hear about that. So it's just a lot of things going on, but I would like to hear your thoughts about all this. Put your comments at the bottom. Also, subscribe to this channel. Let's keep this channel going. I want to deliver more news to you. Every Saturday and Tuesday episodes are loaded up. So to go the reverse way, the real way, every Tuesday and Saturday episodes are loaded up regarding this content at Access Channel Comics. I want to know more what you're thinking about. I got some more stuff coming on the way, some new things coming up that I want to really start talking about and getting into. Got some more, been doing some digging on some information about great characters and entertainment I want to get into. Been doing a lot of more studying, getting back and re-enhancing my skills on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for one. I'm a huge fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sometimes I forget how the origin of those comic books first started out. And see, I got the TMNT playing, one of my favorites in the background. So look forward to doing some more stuff like that. Do some more information research on DC, Marvel, and many other comic book labels. There are a lot of great things going on. So with that said, I'm going to end today's episode on that note. Make sure to subscribe to this channel once again. Also go on Facebook. You can find Access Channel Comics Unlimited, where you can. It's a public group where we talk about comic books and everything and more. Follow me on Twitter. You see the subscription label at the bottom. And just have fun. Remember, be good to yourself, be good to others. And at Access Channel Comics, always remember, there are many, there are few, but there are none. like you. Peace.